From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, Galena flood evacuees will be able to stay at a former motel in Fairbanks after all.
That's right. The Tanana Chiefs Conference has been offering shelter to them since May at the Willow House. Willow House was originally set up as a temporary home for village residents seeking medical care in Fairbanks. A September 30th deadline for finding alternative housing had been mentioned at a meeting last month, but the evacuees won't be asked to leave if they've not found other housing. The consortium is seeking long-term housing for evacuees.
Some sparks flew last night during the Young Professional Council's Candidate Forum. Candidates Vivian Stiver and John Eberhardt met once again to discuss what they would do if elected to city mayor. The two butted heads over the issues, including which of them wrote a city council ordinance regarding the Community Service Patrol, a group that helps deal with inebriates downtown. The event was held in the UAF pub, and while it may seem like an unusual place for political debate, organizers say there's a reason behind that.
We wanted it to be both serious and lighthearted and fun, which is kind of the what we think of as young professionals. We're people that aren't really in that stage of their lives where everything has to be uber serious, but they are in that stage of their lives where they want to have fun, but they want important things to be. They care about important things going on in the community.
On the U.S. Senate floor this afternoon, Alaska Senator Mark Begich talked about the importance of the Keystone Pipeline project and oil projects in Alaska. He said the administration has to start working to create American jobs. Begich said Alaska has built pipelines in sensitive areas for years, and that with modern technology, it should be even safer. The senator said he wants to see the Chukchi and Beaufort Seas developed along with NPRA. He said the development would bring good-paying jobs to the economy.
Alaska, like Louisiana, like North Dakota and Montana, others, are abundant with this resource, which will get us off of foreign oil. This is what I hear over and over and over again. And what a better deal but to work with our Canadian partners, where we import enormous amounts of oil from.
State Natural Resources Commissioner Dan Sullivan is resigning amid speculation he'll run for an Alaska U.S. Senate seat next year. The news comes as another Republican, Lieutenant Governor Mead Treadwell, officially launched his campaign for Senate today. Sullivan plans to resign effective September 24th. Sullivan was appointed DNR Commissioner in 2010. Before that, he served as Alaska Attorney General and in the administration of President George W. Bush. He was recently deployed to Afghanistan after being recalled to active military duty.
The operator of a wind farm near Delta Junction says a 10th turbine was installed, which gives them the capability to fully power Delta Junction with renewable energy. The managing partner for Alaska Environmental Power, Mike Kraft, says he would like the wind farm to grow bigger because it would have a positive impact on the economy. However, if they produce more electricity, they can't sell it anywhere. Recently, he filed an informal complaint with the Regulatory Commission of Alaska against GVEA. He believes the wind farm can produce 10 times more power, and he wants GVEA to purchase it. The local electric utility says it will cost consumers more money to support the Delta wind farm. Now, despite the conflict, Kraft is enthusiastic about the new turbine.
We're making, at this point, 2 megawatts of power, and it feels awesome. Everybody that's out there is very excited about being involved with it. It's interesting to see the camaraderie of all these companies because they see what we're doing, and they see that we can make a difference.
All right, when we come back, the Interior Alaska Center for Nonviolent Living is having its first annual Behind the Mask event.
Also, we have your weekly dose of interiortainment. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. How fast can you pack your bags and get on the road? That was a test for the Stryker Brigade Combat Team at Fort Wainwright this week. The team conducted a training event to test the basic fundamentals of the brigade's readiness to deploy. There is also training on forced entry operations. Training events like these help the brigade continue to maintain its ability to deploy rapidly anywhere in the world.
Friday evening at the Pioneer Home on Egan Avenue, the scene will be set for what is now considered an annual social event. The Fairbanks Pioneers Home Foundation Art Walk is a fundraiser whose goal is to make the lives of the residents in the home more comfortable and enjoyable. A variety of artwork provided through the generosity of individual artists will be on display, along with silent and outcry auctions. Past fundraisers have helped to build a walking path along with trips and excursions for the residents.
And our art this year is we have nearly 76 multimedia art pieces that will be on the art walk itself. And the art comes from the permanent home here in the permanent collection in the Pioneer Home and from private collections. Individuals in the community loan their art, so there's amazing art that can't be seen anywhere else but here at this art walk.
The art walk will begin at 6 p.m. and run until 8 p.m. at the Pioneers Home.
The Interior Alaska Center for Nonviolent Living is having its first annual Behind the Mask event in honor of 35 years of service to the Fairbanks community tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. The event will take place at the Westmark Hotel, where there will be a prime rib dinner followed by an art auction. Governor Sean Parnell will be honored with the Behind the Mask Award for his Choose Respect campaign in Alaska, which has brought awareness on the same issues the agency faces daily. Other community members and organizations will be recognized with the Giving Back Award for their work and involvement with the program. All proceeds will go support various programs with the agency to assist in their daily operations.
In terms of the mask that we have to wear to get through every day as survivors of this, and to get behind that mask and to recognize people who have gotten behind the mask and worked on this issue to try to make it stop. The masks that we are going to be auctioned off were made either in honor of a survivor of domestic violence or by survivors themselves, and each mask is individualized and putting on it what they feel they wanted on their mask. And then the art pieces that will be auctioned off are local artists here and are actually pieces of art. They are pictures that someone has done for us to especially auction off at this event.
Alaskans who dream of making it big have to work hard to catch the attention of folks in the lower 48. One woman from a village in Interior Alaska is making sure she is noticed. We have more now, and that's Interiortainment. A woman from the small Alaska village of Ruby has been making big moves towards her dreams. Tara Parton, who happens to also be former Miss Juneau, has been taking her music skills to shows like The X Factor and Biggest Loser.
I had my very first performance at Denaganaga in my hometown village of Ruby, Alaska, which is about 243 miles west of Fairbanks. And it was a great feeling. It was, I got to sing in front of the tribal chiefs, and that was such an honor. Oh, I'm getting tingles right now.
Parton caught the eyes of the X Factor judges, and she says this was a huge dream to make it through all the rounds. She plans to go again this year in representation of Alaska.
Flew down to Dallas, Texas, and I was the only one that had American flags, so I got noticed by the director. And I made all 4 stages. There's 4 levels going up to the X Factor, so I was there for 3 days. And it was a great experience, and I plan on doing it again this upcoming spring.
Being from a small village, there are many challenges that the residents face. One thing Tara Parton says, she hopes her dreams can inspire other young Native Alaskan women to set goals and achieve dreams despite their circumstances.
We're facing out in the village is alcoholism and suicide, and it starts off being young. And I want to be an inspiration to others, saying that when you have hope, when you have your dreams, that's something that will keep you going, because that's what got me out of my depression and to hang on to life.
I'm Stephanie Woodard, and that's Interiortainment. So Joe, football's the word, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Are you guys laughing at me?
Like I was just gazing at my
You guys.
Well, but today, we're going to preview the game of the week in high school football. The Ravens and the Rams. They're going to go at it tomorrow at Buck Nystrom Field. We talked to both teams about the matchup. Also, we recap the I-5 that's coming up later in the Sportscast.
I really like that, the I-5.
Thank you. Yeah. Getting a lot of good feedback from us so far. So, we're definitely going to keep it going. So we'll have that and more coming up next. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the Sports C4 this evening with your Thursday sports. Last Friday in high school football, we had 2 of the top 5 Alaska teams in Lathrop and Wasilla face off tomorrow. Another big Friday evening matchup in the Greatland Conference. The Allison Ravens host the Monroe Rams at 5 p.m. on Buck Nystrom Field. Allison is coming off a 71-14 win over Barrow and are 3-0 in conference play. Their only loss came to Soldotna at the beginning of the season. The Ravens run the rock. Standout Tony Griffith has amassed over 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns in just 4 weeks. He'd be #1 in fantasy football. Jaheim Prelude is also a running threat, running for Allison. for almost 400 yards in 3 games as well. But don't forget about Monroe. With just 12 players, they've outscored their 2 opponents, Seward and Valdez, 98-2. Scooter Bynum, he does it all, scoring on defense, special teams, and offense in both games. Quarterback Tyler Wells is a triple threat as well, and he's thrown 5 TDs and no picks. Because the Rams may have 12 players, most of their team, they're athletic and skilled. This will be an interesting matchup. Can the Rams contain Griffith, and can the Ravens make enough plays to win and possibly wear down Monroe? The players say the linemen will be the X factor.
The key for me is the line, and then open up the holes for us. I mean, got to think the linemen first. Got to make plays when it's time to make plays. I mean, but honestly, think the line.
Most of the work and the yards all goes to them because, you know, without them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So, you know, big thanks to the line, good play calling by our coach. You know, we believe in every call that he makes, you know, run it 100%.
Really, our defensive line has really stepped up this year. We got Mike Neville and Connor O'Kelly on the D ends and really anchoring that, and some solid interior linemen like Josh Watson, Peter Button. That's really where it comes from, just putting so much pressure on the QB for us. Makes it a lot easier on us.
It's going to be a very big game, and I expect it to be real physical from the opening kick. So, I mean, they got a really good player in 21, and we're going to do everything we can to stop him tomorrow.
We focus right now. I mean, we're not really worried about the matchup. We're just going to take it play by play and day by day and get better and better.
The whole team is pumped up about it. You know, we've never beaten Allison, and this is the year we're going to do it.
The Hill now, as the Nanook volleyball team will be back on the road this weekend. The 0-7 Nanooks will be traveling to California for the 2nd annual Route 92 Showdown. Cal State East Bay and Notre Dame de Namur are the hosts. Cal State LA and Academy of Art are also in the tournament. The Nanooks will have 2 days of doubleheaders. Tomorrow they face Cal State East Bay, an 0-4 CCAA team at noon. Then Academy of Art out of the Pac West, who are 2-2 at 4 o'clock. On Saturday, UAF drives down Route 92 to play Cal State LA at 10 a.m. They are 3-1, and they are another CCAA team. That evening at 6, their last game is against Notre Dame de Namur. During the Nanook Classic, Alaska did better digging, averaging 44 digs in their last 3 outings, the highest in a 3-game span. Sam Hartoon is leading the team in kills with 81. Senior Carrie Knight is increasing her kills each match with a season high 11 versus number 12 Fresno Pacific. Freshman setter Caitlin Camp averaged 30 assists per game during the Classic as well. Head coach Mallory Larinaga admits that this winless preseason of sorts has been a test for the first-year head coach, but all the losses against quality opponents strengthens them for their conference schedule.
For us, it's just the passion and playing consistently with passion. We're really hot and cold right now, and we're getting used to each other. We're all competitors. We all want to win. And, you know, I'm a mother of 3 boys, and I'm still being tested with patience more with my team right now. We went to Hawaii and played 4 top teams. We bought three teams here that were just top teams. We're not going to go out and look for a win that's easy. You know, we want people that are really going to compete with us and then make us better for GNAC play.
And before Friday gets here, remember to get online and vote for the top play in the I-5. If you missed them, we're going to run them down again right now. At number 5 in tennis, Liana Sawyer and Lydia Bierenstead team up for the nice volley to win 3-6, 6-4, 10-3 over Lathrop on Thursday. North Pole won consecutive dual meets last week. At number 4, some high school volleyball. Vanessa Hastings with the game-winning block as Hutchinson wins 3-1 over North Pole. The Hawks are now 5-0. At number 3, the Monroe Rams, led by sophomore Emily Pfister, 16 kills and a 3-1 victory over West Valley. The Rams are undefeated at 4-0. And number 2, this play is royal. Sir Charles Sudduth finds Devin Prince Cooks. West Valley gets their first win of the year, 41-12 over Houston. And at number 1, I've gotten a lot of response from this one already, and rightly so. Gonna look at the playmaker, Derek O'Neal. He passes the concentration test with the catch, and Lathrop's 42-32 went over Wasilla. To select the play of the week, comment on KTVF 11 Sports, YouTube at KTVF Joe Cook on Twitter. You can comment on Facebook and tell me what you think is the play of the week. We'll announce it tomorrow in Friday Sportscast. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back in to the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again. You know, after the fog cleared today, things were looking pretty good. Lots of sunshine. We are looking at more clouds moving in on the horizon. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Here's our photograph for tonight. This one's sent in by Bill Blizzard, Two Rivers Sunset. Beautiful colors there. Again, getting some great photographs. If you have one you want to share with me, by all means, send to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Out at the airport right now, 61 degrees. That's our high for the day. The low last night, a chilly 39 degrees. 78 1910 and 24 1927 for the high and low. The sunrise this morning at 7:06 and the sun sets this evening at 8:28, giving us 13 hours, 22 minutes of daylight, a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite and radar. That's the next system that's moving in from the west and the southwest. Will be moving in our direction by tomorrow night, bringing in more rain shower activity, but nothing really heavy expected. That's good news. Across the rest of the state today, you could see once again the rains are starting to fall around Kodiak Island. Cloudy to partly cloudy skies over the southeastern sections of the state. Cloudy skies up and down the west coast. And over the north slope, 41 degrees at Barrow, 59 degrees at Fort Yukon. Lower 48 weather, the big news tonight is happening around Colorado. You don't see it here, but I'll show you in just a little bit. We have lots of sunshine over the Pacific Northwest, more storms across the Texas area and over the southeastern sections of the country. And again, looking at the radar, and look at all the energy moving across from Texas all the way up into Colorado. In fact, here's what it looked like in the Boulder, Colorado area this afternoon and this evening. And you can see we're looking again at some showers and thunderstorms that are causing widespread flooding. That flooding is bringing lots of folks a lot of misery. As you can see here, just incredible amount of water in one short period and more rain expected. Unfortunately, looks like the situation is going to get worse into the weekend. And the reason is because, again, we're looking at the jet stream way up to the north. We'll go on back to the map now and show you that and see what it looks like. As you can see, way up to the north, that allows more storms to move up from the south, bringing showers and heavy thunderstorm activity, cooler air across the northern section of the Great Lakes. So I'll have more video on the NBC Nightly News coming up next. Okay, here's what's happening tomorrow in the northern sections of Alaska. Showers and fog for Barrow, cloudy skies at Nome and Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at increasing clouds for Fairbanks, rain developing in the Healy area, while over southeast Alaska, not too bad. Partly cloudy skies at Juneau, mostly sunny skies at Ketchikan. And out to the southwest, we'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies for Cold Bay and Bethel, with rain expected at Kodiak Island, while over the south central regions, widespread rainfall for Anchorage, Homer, and Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather, and all this week we're talking with the kids from Crawford Elementary School. Tonight we have the teacher with a weather fact.
I'd like to share a weather fact with you. Class, did you know that Loro, Colombia in South America averages more than 43 feet of rain a year? Whoa! Fairbanks averages a little more than 10 inches.
You can tell those kids were amazed by that weather fact, actually. Next week, Kids Weather will be visiting with the kids from Hunter Elementary School. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 40 degrees, a little cooler with clouds increasing into the morning hours. Tomorrow's forecast calling for 62 degrees. Once again, mostly cloudy skies, a little rain possible by later on in the evening. And the extended forecast still calling for a pretty nice weekend, although kind of chilly. Temperatures, again, dipping to the mid-50s and then dropping down to around 50 degrees for the rest of the 5-day period. Overnight lows dropping down below the 40-degree mark, that magic mark, down to 36 degrees, but still none of that white stuff in the forecast, so we're not going to get too alarmed yet.
So it's like a slippery slope.
However, a friend did email me a photograph of Talkeetna Mountains, and they did have some termination dust.
Termination dust up there sighted. Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's only a matter of time, Joe.
Okay.
All right, get your big puffy coat out. All right, that's great. Thanks, Mike. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, deadly flooding and dramatic high water rescues in Colorado. That's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webster11.com.
And that will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here at 11.